I don't know how many more of these terrible video game adaptations my heart can take, but I'm done. So Return to Silent Hill is the most recent video game adaptation turned into a horror film, and I'm going to rip the band-aid straight off. This movie was big trash. About a handful of times every year since I've started this YouTube channel, I leave a movie, I sit in my car, and I just debate for 20 minutes. Is it even worth it to finish some of these films? Do I even like movies anymore? Is there a God? Did I piss somebody off? Why? Because I was utterly miserable watching this film. I hated it. It was boring. It was pointless. Make no mistake, this is not the first, and it will not be the last video game adaptation to completely fumble the bag. I don't know how this keeps happening. We take beloved video games and we make adaptations of them that are both pointless, they're not creative, they're not scary, they're not suspenseful. Like, why are we imitating the games to such a degree? There's no reason to not just play the video game. This is probably the most glaring example of that I have ever seen when it comes to video game adaptations. And I'm not even joking, I was at odds with this film within the first 5 minutes because the acting is terrible, the plot buildup is terrible. You have to buy into who these characters are to believe this story as it progresses, and I didn't even believe these people would be who they said they are based on the setup scenario. The movie starts off, we're following James, this dickhead who's driving in his car recklessly. When he swerves out of the way, avoids a crash, much like the first film, no creativity, and he avoids hitting this girl named Mary who's carrying luggage. But in the process of this, he knocks her bags out of her hands, her clothes go spilled everywhere, and this bus is pulling up and she's going to be late unless he helps her put her clothes back in the luggage. You know, this is supposed to be our How I Met Your Mother moment where James and Mary are going to fall in love and we're going to buy into this story of why James has to go back to Silent Hill. But even the setup of this movie being like a 5-minute plot point is so stupid, so lazy. I was completely disengaged from this movie. I was checked out. How hard is it to put clothes back in a luggage container? That takes 30 seconds to bundle it up and throw it in there. But no, we need the love story plot to get going, so Mary decides, oh, it's too late, I missed my bus. So her and James are gonna hang out, and that's when they're gonna fall in love. And aside from the scene being lazy and stupid, the acting, starting with the first scene in this film, throughout the entirety of this movie, is atrocious. All of it is like Jack Black in Minecraft times 10. It is awful. Who cast these people? Like, no joke, if at any point in any scene of this film, the characters just dropped their drawers and started doing it, I would have understood. I would have been, oh, it's a film parody. It's an adult movie, because that's what this movie feels like. Like, this is like a fake set, CGI backgrounds, every single character's an adult film actor and actress. Like, what are we doing? And as pathetic as it sounds, there is a part of me that can see the vision here of what they were trying to do when they were adapting this, because when you make a video game adaptation, it can go a couple of ways. You either copy the video game, like this movie, or you can go your own way, like Until Dawn. You try to do something different, you distance yourself from the video game, which usually alienates audiences because we fell in love with the video game for a reason, so why are we doing that? You have to stick this weird blend where you're kind of trying to, I don't want to say copy or emulate the video game, but you have to stay true to it without being a complete ripoff. And this movie doesn't manage to get there. It tries to be the video game in the way it's shot, and some of the framing, which I do think is cinematic at points, the way, again, third-person camera and some of the lighting of the hallways with characters walking. It does kind of feel like the video game, mixed with a couple of cool tracking shots and some POV usage at certain points. And that's the biggest backhanded compliment I can even give this film when it comes to the way it looks cinematically and the way it feels to watch. It feels like a giant video game cutscene. And I say that's a backhanded compliment because we're going to the movies for a reason. We've played the game, we can look up the cutscenes. I think all of us, for the most part, think movies are a more extreme medium than video games. The reason to adapt something into a movie is because you have a bigger scale to things, you have a bigger budget, you have better visuals. So why would we limit ourselves to just being a video game throughout? And this movie just felt like all of the parts of the video game before all of the major moments you play, where you have a character talking, you have a cutscene leading into the action, and you just mash X because you don't care about that cutscene. Just kind of a weird spot to find yourself in because you're going for so much style and so much relevance to what the video game was, that the entire movie just feels like all of the most forgettable cutscenes of the video game. So it's like, dude, I get what you're trying to do, but you're making a movie. You're not making video game art. And I was at odds with this movie again from the opening scene for many reasons I said, between the acting, the lazy exposition. I will give them credit for the casting of James in this film as our main character, because this dude looks more like a video game character than a video game character. In fact, I didn't even know people like him existed in real life. I thought his archetype, the way he looks, was centric to only video games. Like, I have never seen a person like that in the actual world. They're all the video game protagonists. So I'll give him credit for that. When it comes to casting this cracked out, junky, sad, depressed guy, they hit the nail on the head. I have never seen a guy who looks more like the focal point of every video game ever than this guy. But even still, there's a caveat to his character because they're going for more of the tone of the video game, so they're trying to be more mysterious than scary. So his character at no point in this film really feels scared. He just feels kind of confused, like this sleep-deprived junkie looking for Mary in Silent Hill, doesn't really know what's going on. So because of that, you don't feel any stakes to anything you're watching. The movie is not scary, it's not suspenseful. Oh yeah, I've said this 5 times or so, it's fucking boring. It's confused, but he's almost like he's fascinated. Like, what's going on? Who are these creatures? Who are you? What happened here? Like, the character's trying to unravel a puzzle more so than be scared by this demented fucking town he's in, which again just makes this feel like a horror movie with absolutely no stakes to it whatsoever. You don't care about any of these characters, and you're just left saying, like, why do I want to walk around with this boring, depressing guy for 2 hours? And like I said in my review of the first film, this movie suffers again from stupid characteritis, where every character in this movie makes the dumbest possible decision at every single fork in the road. There's a scene in this movie when James, our depressed detective, is walking around this town looking for Mary, and he sees this corpse that's on all fours or something. It's like this giant spider with a fucking demon head. And in this moment, its head is spinning like a mannequin doll is spinning, and it's got 8 spider legs. He looks at this character dead in the eyes and he goes, Mary? The fuck you mean, Mary? It's a giant spider demon. And then finally, I actually had this same issue with the first movie as well. The whole ambiance they're going for with the town of Silent Hill, where it's snowing ashes and it's very dreary. I think there's a sort of campiness to it that does work in the original, because we watched that movie, kind of know it's so bad it's good. But in both of these movies, I feel like they try so hard to make this empty, mysterious town be something you want to navigate. Nothing is in it because it's abandoned. It's way more just dull empty than mysterious empty. Doesn't feel like something lived in you're actually going to explore. You're just kind of walking around this boring, dead, green screen lit town. And every once in a while you find some bystander hiding in a bin or something. It's a huge disappointment, because in the games, obviously, when you're given the liberty to walk around and explore and search for things and piece together these letters and this narrative, then you actually understand what's going on. But as these movies keep being structured, having no central narrative whatsoever, just having a character walk around this, again, oddly dull town, it just feels like there's no point to it whatsoever. You're just watching a guy walk through limbo, whatever you want to call it, and every once in a while they insert some cheesy creature jump scare. So yeah, this is one of these times I have basically nothing positive to say about this film. If I was given the option of returning to Silent Hill or returning my money to the dumpster, I would probably pick the latter. Because at the end of the day, they're basically the same thing, and I would have saved 2 hours. This movie is dog shit. If you guys managed to check out Return to Silent Hill, come back, comment down below, let me know your trauma it caused you because the movie was so bad. As always, like, comment, subscribe, hype the video. I will see you in the next review. Peace.